Yeah, U3, live from the underground.
You know, doing the Bear County.
Yo, it's your girl DJ Baby Blue Diamond, and you tune into U3 Underground, Unsigned, and Unknown. And we have a special guest in the building, and I've been trying to get this guest on my show for a minute, but it's my fault because I've been slacking. Miss Bossalena, what up? What up?
Yo, what's the daily? What's the daily? Long time coming. You feel me?
I
I've been waiting for this
agree.
for a while.
I agree. You're like one of the hardest working females right now here in San Antonio. You just do it
Man,
low key.
it's it pays to stay busy. You know.
I agree with that. Now, being that you are from Compton, California, and now that you're living in San Antonio, I know the music scene is totally different. How is it being from there and now living here? How do you feel like the music scene is? And do you feel like some of your Compton influences is still you brought down here to San Antonio?
Um. Yeah, it's a very good mix because technically I have family here, so I've been coming here my whole life. So I've been adapted, but listening to both types of music, the South and the West. You know what I mean? So to me, adapting to it just was more or less of I knew I would be coming here one day.
Yeah.
So to me, I felt like I was ready for this type of sound. You know what I mean? Like slow down a little bit, a little bit more, take your time, type vibe. So I kind of was feeling that. So to me, it's not too much of a culture shock to me because being in Compton, I still did a lot of music from the South, even though I was over there. So even if I was in Compton, people would be like, "Hey, you sound like somebody from the South." You know what I mean? Because I never really rapped on a lot of West Coast beats.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Not as much. Not until probably later on. You know what I mean? And then I started really tapping into the real West Coast beats. It was just more or less about I always listen to South music a lot. So, you know what I mean? I kind of felt like I fit in.
Were they feeling you up there in Compton when you were bringing your little Southern flair to your music? Or were they like, nah, we can't mess with that
No,
down there?
I mean, I might say some stuff or whatever, but it was like mine was like more of a mix. You know what I mean? Because it was more like you kind of like street, but then you still kind of have like that South feel. So to me, I always felt like I was blending the two together. So I would always have like a dirty West feel. So to me, I felt like, oh, I'm bringing that dirty West feel, dirty South and the West Coast together type vibe. So to me, I felt like I got accepted both ways. You know what I mean? Because I'm still hard on the street, but I'm still. So to me, I think it opened up more doors because a lot of my friends from Compton would listen to a lot of South music and listen to screwed up music and getting their stuff chopped and screwed. Listen to the OG Ron C. Compton, so they know a lot of the. We growing up listening to the DSRs and So to me, I think it opened a lot of doors. They were playing Swisher House on the radio. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Swisher House Chopped and Screw got played in the radio in Cali as well before a couple times. So they play their music. So a lot of people know what's up. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I feel you. I like that. What made you what sparked that interest in you getting into music? When did you realize, you know what, this is not for play. I can actually do this and make something out of it?
I'd probably say when I went to school for music. And that was some years out of high school. I was doing music in high school, but it was like, oh, people were telling me, oh, you can rap, you can do it, you should do it. But I never thought about it like that. You know what I mean? I grew up in the music. My dad is a DJ. So my dad being a DJ, I just always listening to music, but I never thought to myself like, oh, I want to be a musician. Don't get me wrong. I was in talent shows as a kid. I was in family. My whole family does music. My family sings. They do everything, play instruments, to name it. So we used to have family talent shows. So I used to participate in the family talent shows. And still then, I still wasn't thinking I wanted to be an artist. You know what I mean? Until I actually went to school, like later in life, went to music school. I was like, I want to do music. Like I really, my brother did music. I still did, I recorded. I recorded. Um, so then I would probably say about 2010, 2011, when I got out of school, I was really like, this is what I want to do. And I still was tapping, but 2013 is when I said, I'm gonna make money doing this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a difference when you're doing it and you're putting out free mixtapes and you're uploading it online, but then you start thinking like, okay, I need to start making money doing this. And that's when it started. 2013 is when I said I'm gonna start making money doing it.
Do
So
you
that's when really.
do you feel like it doesn't matter when you start in the music industry, you can still make it or still make money off of it? Because I know how some of the youngsters like to say, "Oh, you too old to be in the music industry. You starting too late. Your time has expired."
I don't really look at it like that because I feel like your best albums and the best music that is out there are from the older generation.
I agree.
You know what I mean? So, and it hits harder and the albums are more together and, it's just way better than the new kids. Yeah, they're doing it, but they're not, I don't
Doing
see
it.
them as classic. I don't see them as classic body of work
No.
opposed to how some of the OG generations do their music. And they're still dropping music that is just like, oh, you know what I mean? It's just like Busta Rhymes has dropped an album that was like amazing. His videos are like super amazing still. You know what I mean? I mean, some of these, and they're older, so it's,
Yeah.
I don't really feel there's a timeline to it. You know what I'm saying? I think it's only a timeline if you let it get to you. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
there's artists in other genres that can get a record deal at like 60
Yeah.
and never had an album in their life. So are you going to say, oh, it's too late because you're 60? Like, no. So I feel like I don't think there's really a limit on it. You know what I mean? I just feel that once you get older, you just have different market that you could promote and you can still gravitate to. You know what I mean?
Now, your bio says that you are a certified engineer. How does it feel to
Mm-hmm.
have that title? Because a lot of people call themselves engineers, they call themselves producers, but they can't say certified. They can't say they went to school and did it for real, for
Yeah.
real. How does it feel to have that title? And what's one thing that you learned that really sticks with you? And what advice can you give to other people who do engineering and producing?
You know what? One of those hard things right there. I mean, I love being a certified audio engineer because I felt to me that was something that I wanted on my resume personally
Yeah,
because I felt I love music so much that I wanted to learn as much as I can. I don't care what genre it was, what sound it was, what frequency I was on. You know what I mean? Because that's how much I love music. So to me, I really enjoy the title. You know what I'm saying? Did I really need the title? Do you really feel like, oh, your audio engineer makes you more better than a self-made engineer? I can't really say that because, like, for example, my brother is self-taught.
yeah,
Everything he did, he's never in his life went to school, picked up a note, nothing, 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 just off the head. And to me, I looked at that and I was like, dang, that's dope. You feel me? And I wanted to be a self-made too. But I felt like we can't have two self-mades in the family. Somebody got to go to school and then you be self-made. And he's very good at what he does. So I don't discredit nobody because he reads and he does his own schooling to get to where he's at in his
yeah,
sound, and he makes beats and he engineers and he has his own studio, and you know what I mean? So I learned from that and I just took that with me to school. I just wanted to have the paperwork and the stuff behind me just because really, it wasn't really
yeah,
like it wasn't really a main reason because it doesn't matter, school or not school. So there's a lot of people that's very successful that never went to school in their life.
yeah,
So,
exactly.
you know, I don't really take that from, but for me, I wanted to get the paperwork because my brother was self-made and I wanted to be the one that was school taught.
Now, being that you are an engineer and you know, and your brother is a self-made engineer, so you have some in your family and you know how you want your sound to sound like, you know how you want everything to be mastered. And is it harder to go to different studios? Are you the type to go to another studio and be like, man, you're not doing it right. This is how you should do it. If you do this a little bit, are you the type to be like, nah, I'm gonna back up and let them?
That, that's real funny because what happened was I used to pay for studio time all the time, you know?
Yeah.
And every time I go to the studio, I just felt like the person I was paying, like they didn't never knew what they were doing. And so now I'm telling you what to do. You know what I mean? So then I got to that thing and the light bulb went off like, why am I telling y'all and I'm paying y'all? I need to go to school for this. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of what made me, because I would go to the studio and look, I paid a studio time one time, did this whole song. He mixed it, did the whole thing. I got home. When I got home, tell me why the whole volume turned down on my second verse.
Oh, wow.
So you can't hear the song no more. And I'm like, did I just pay for this? Now I got to call the studio, got to go back, got to, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, nah, like,
Time,
you
waste
know,
the money.
I just felt like I'm gonna have to go to school for this. You know what I mean? And plus, I'm looking for people that do beats. You don't know nobody that do no beats. So I start making my own beats. Once you start doing this stuff yourself, you start meeting people that do those things too.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's weird. It's just weird how that works. You know what I mean? Once you start doing that, then all of a sudden these people come out of nowhere. You know, I had no beats. I start making beats. Now I'm meeting producers up the, you know what I mean? So then I'm stopped making beats now. But, you know, it just, I felt like it opens more doors. I think
Now,
it
your
opens
name,
more doors.
for people who don't know, which I said it earlier, your name is Bossalena. And you know, you are a boss in your own way. Like you say, you do your own engineering, you make beats, you're a rapper, you got your own in the house, production team, you know, you're a boss all over. I'm assuming that's how you got your name, but for
Yeah.
people who don't know, how did you come up with the name Bossalena?
It was given to me, you know, being a boss that I am, you know what I mean? It was given to me by my brother, you know, and it was just like, it was like you need to take it to another level, you know what I mean? And when he
Yeah,
came out with the boss, it was just like that just fits you, like, and to me, it did, you know what I mean? So I ran with it. I was like, good idea. I like that one, you know. I mean,
how
that's
does
just
it
pretty
feel
much
being a
fit.
how does it feel being a boss in a male dominated field?
Very interesting. Very interesting. Different, different, you know.
Yeah,
They look different. They look at you different, you know, but like anything else, you know, being a woman in anything, I think it's a little bit harder. You know what I mean? Because I'm a supervisor boss at my job also,
oh,
and I'm probably the only, you know, one of the only females, you know, and you know, it's just no matter where you at, being a female woman boss is, it's more than people think.
yeah.
And it's harder than people think, you know, because you're a female, people think less of you, or they think that you don't know this or you don't know that just because you're a female. You know what I mean? So sometimes you have to work harder. Sometimes you have to really show out. Sometimes you really got to show out. So it's a little bit harder being a female in anything that's male dominated.
I agree with that. I know how it goes. Now you have a entertainment company, Bossalena's entertainment company called Greedy Girls ENT. Tell us a little bit about that. How would you come up with the name? How does it feel to have an entertainment company?
I mean, you know, it's just a brand, you know, it's a brand that represents me, you know, Gritty Girls. I just feel I'm greedy for this game, you know.
Yeah.
And you know, just having a home and a platform to release, create my brand, you know, things like that, just to have my own little empire entity of just a female in the music industry, you know what I mean?
Do you have any artists on your entertainment company yet? Are you looking for artists?
No, I mean, no, I don't have any artists, you know, at this time. Am I looking for artists? I'm always willing to work with artists. You know what I mean? If they want my help and they want to get on, of course. You know what I mean? I'll push you, do whatever. But I'm not really particularly
that they come to you.
but if it happens, it happens. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
So it's one of the type of where I'm not looking, but if I run across something and something just fits pretty good, I would be willing to, represent and help whoever.
I am I'm a gamer. I like to game a little bit. I love comic books too. I love superhero. My favorite superheroes are Batman and Iron Man. Okay. I see that you got your own little comic book series. Okay. Yeah. How did that happen?
Just thinking out the box. Yeah. You know what I mean? Being a musician and being an artist, you always got to find something that can set you apart from different people. You know what I mean? Different artists, different female artists, different people in the same thing that you want. So, it's just another way of advertising and marketing and trying to make my little niche and my little way of getting attention and getting my music heard. So that's kind of how it came about, of just different being, no one's done it as far as female go, and don't get me wrong. Yes, I love comics. I don't really see the female Black Panther. No, I just, I don't see enough. You feel me? Even if there's one, so I wouldn't mind to try to tap into that type of area. You know what I mean? Who's to say that Bossalena couldn't be that Black, superhero? So that's kind of where my mind state kind of was. And I love all the comic books and the whole Marvels and the whole, the whole, yeah. I'm an X-Man, I've always, I'm always into all that type of supernatural, I'm the supernatural. I love all that supernatural stuff, so, I always feel, I think that's something that everybody always feel they can have some type of power. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's kind of, it's just what other than a comic book where you can, feel that you have just so many different powers as far as being like a musician. So my music, and it's dealing with music, and it's dealing with, so it's gonna be pretty good. It's called Bossalena Legend. I have a couple series of those coming out. They're gonna be projects coming out with each comic book. So be looking out for that. I say about the summertime we'll be starting probably about the first volume. So yes, it's gonna be very, very exciting.
Okay, Bossalena Legend, this engineer making the perfect song with your little engineering powers.
Yeah, you feel me? Just
it'd be kind of dope because I know Deacon Rap, and he does that little cosplay. Maybe his character might pop up somewhere, and y'all team up and y'all make the.
He's really with the whole little movement. Don't get me wrong. I've been to a couple Comic Cons and all that, and I represent some of those. I'm trying to get an action figure too. So.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that'd be super dope. Those what are those called?
Having your own little. Come on, I know some people that have their own. And it was very So we got those coming in the works too. You know what I'm saying? Like. Whatever, I'ma try it. You know what I mean? Like, there's no limit to things. You feel me? Like this Christmas I did wrapping paper. Like, people like, how you got wrapping paper? I don't know. Why not?
Well, it's good to be outside the box in a way that's not so gimmicky. Because nowadays with the younger artists, that's all you see is just the gimmicks.
And it's all the same.
It's like, why do you need a gimmick? The same. Do something organically, something that people buy all the time. So I feel like gimmicks come and go, but you always gonna need wrapping paper. You can always read a comic book. It ain't gonna come and go.
And they're good collectibles. I like things that you can actually collect and save, and you know what I mean?
Give it to kids who read that stuff and pass it on. I like that. You thinking for the future. That's dope.
You got to.
And my mind just went play. We were talking about the comic. Right. Now that you are
coming out with a movie after that, no, it's fine.
Are you? That would be kind of nice,
Hey, I'm looking
up. You got the Selena. Now we need a Bossalena movie.
I'm trying to get it picked up, all that. You feel me? They get picked up, and you know what I'm saying?
Well, that'd be dope. Cause you coming from Compton to Texas, that'd be a dope little story, a little bridge, a little,
It got some
because a
dope.
lot of people have that perception that West Coast music is only listening to West Coast music, East Coast is only listening to East Coast, and we only speaking with the down south. But I like the fact that you're like, nah, they messing with the down south, and how you said
Oh,
they DJ
it's
school and
both.
all that. So that'd be a
It's
good
both.
story because people have that perception and they don't.
Cali are like, I feel like Texas and Cali are like brother and sisters, like, because out of all the places, Texas and Cali really connect like a lot, and they always have. You know what I mean? Like from even like all the artists, a lot of artists come over here, a lot of artists go over there. It's vice versa, and it's always a big, big love thing. And don't get me wrong, like I feel like when you listen to certain music, it just hits your soul a certain way. So when I listen to certain, you know, like they just were saying they were gonna have the UGK and the MJG verses.
Yeah.
Come on, you feel me? It's just certain things when you hear that UGK, certain joints that just like if I was to hear certain songs from like a Snoop, like they just hit me because I'm from both areas, so it just I could just really relate to both. So it's just for me, But there's a lot of people that have the South in their blood and might be from the West. You know what I mean? Like Snoop, I think his family is from like Mississippi or something. You know what I mean? So he has like, and then he went and got signed with No Limit.
Yeah.
So it opened so many doors for the West Coast and the South that was like, so they brought in, the Masterpiece and all the people from the South because Snoop was over there. So to us, it was just something that we grew up with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Now I know you're from Compton, but not really the Bay Area. But how did you feel about the E40 and the Too Short verses? What side were you on? It's hard to pick a side, huh? Is it hard to pick a side?
I loved it. I loved it because I liked how they gave you like history about the Bay, while they were their verses and how, it started for them and stuff. So that was dope. Like I like to get insight on, how they made songs and what was happening in the era they were at. Like,
exactly.
So really, really dope,
They said that was the most expensive set that they had because of the cars and all that.
I mean, E40 had the dances on you, like,
Man.
Like that was off the chain. Feel me? Like that was really a good look. That was really a good look for the West, for real, for real.
I really loved it because it was one of the few verses where they didn't have beef. Lately the verses is between like, let's squash the beef. No, they didn't have beef. They just came to show you a good time with good music. That's what I love. I don't need that. I'm gonna pretend like we squashed the beef just for the camera, just to get paid. I don't need that. I need someone with good have a good time.
Like that, huh? Because with that Keisha Cole and Ashanti, I was like, I don't know if I really.
And then the Brandy and Monica, and then the Gucci. And Jeezy. So we needed some good old music. And I like the fact that E40 reminded me of Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg didn't even care what kind of dances he was doing. He was
they was rocking. They had some, because I come from like the E40 era, you know what I mean? And my mama and them they used to love her like that Too Short. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That Too Short. Shit, like Too Short. So he had a little bit more older school type vibes, but that E40, I could really like E40. I was like, oh yeah, when E40 started getting loose, but I didn't know that Too Short had so many hits like that. You know what I mean? Like so many, like so it was really dope to see.
I agree with that, man. That Compton sound, Texas sound, you just overall killing it. Like I said, you one of the few females in the San Antonio area killing it. What does it take, do you feel like, for San Antonio artists to get known? Because right now, there's 3 names I hear when it comes to San Antonio artists, and that's you, Malika Tiny, and Eliza 1K. And it's crazy because I asked a question on my Facebook, because they always want to say, who's your top underground artist? And they name all these male artists. So I was like, name some female artists. And all you hear is maybe 1 or 2. You hear you top 3. And I'm like, y'all can't name no more? I can name at least 10, 20 off the top of my head. Why do you feel like San Antonio females getting that recognition?
I mean, I just feel like you just gotta be consistent and do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
just kind of starting a little wave. You feel me? Like, and I just feel just keeping your wave, you know, just keeping it out, keeping your music out, keeping consistent, and just doing it. Our main thing as females is being consistent. You got to be consistent. You feel me? So
I agree.
this means like you really, even if you're not dropping singles or doing things as much as you should be doing to stay in the streets, then, you know, taking a year off and doing this when you feel like it, a show once every blue moon, then a lot of people won't really take you serious. So you might not get mentioned. You know what I mean? Because your grind is not as consistent. So I would say just be more consistent with your grind. And I think that's where you can start getting people to notice San Antonio more.
Yeah.
You know, the more you stay with it, the more people would start looking. You know what I mean? Because I feel like being here in 5 years, there's some artists that when I first came, the first couple of years had a cool buzz popping, you know, when they was in it. And then these last 3 years, I haven't really seen them. Because you see a whole nother new wave of people.
Yeah.
You know, they're being consistent because they've been rocking now for the last 2, 3, 4 years, you know. So I just feel like you just gotta be consistent in doing it. I've been here for 5 and I've been rocking for 5. You feel me? I've been here for 5 years and I probably dropped at least 7 mixtapes, 6, you know, at least 7 projects since I've been here. You know what I'm saying? So if you haven't dropped at least 7 to 8 projects in 3, 4 years, you're not doing enough work. You got to be kind of more consistent. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my thing on getting more attention to San Antonio, more people being more consistent at the same time to bring attention. You know what I'm saying? And then what we're doing right now, you know, it's a little movement going on right now in the city. You know what I'm saying? You got a handful of artists, at least a good 15, 20 artists that's branching out, you know what I mean? And they're branching out together. So if they're going to Houston, you got 5 to 6 artists from San Antonio there too. And so it brings more attention because now they're looking like, hey, it's like 6 of them from San Antonio here. We might as well. And if you take that to Austin, you take that to Houston, you take that to Dallas, you take that, shout out to Smooth and them. They just was in Atlanta. They went to Atlanta and they took more people with them. You know, they met up with some people from Houston and, you know, so now you bring in attention to San Antonio. So that's kind of what it's about. You know, people branching out and doing it in groups to bring more attention. You do it for the next 2, 3 years from now, it'll be a super buzz here in the city.
I agree with that. And I like that you mentioned Houston because some people might not know, but Miss Bossalena performed at the Loud Fest in Houston, Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Right there. Tell us about the experience.
Matter of fact, I think on Monday, you can start registering.
Yes, again, if you want to perform.
Back again, like Monday, like 2 days. I'm like, oh, I need to submit. Time to submit. Yeah, it was popping. It was popping. It was a dope venue, dope event, something to be, you know, proud of, to be a part of during the COVID too. You know, it was a very good success. It was like a lot of people there. So I'm looking forward to 2021 and see what, you know, what happens this year with the Loud Fest, because then it can only get better.
I agree. Now explain because I know there's a couple artists who hit me up and was like, I'm iffy. I don't know if I should have got that artist pass. I don't know if I should submit to perform. They're a little iffy. They're like, I don't know if it's worth it. Explain to artists why is it worth it, and about the media that was out there. I know I couldn't make it because the COVID cases were high where I worked at, but I know
I'm gonna tell you, like, it was worth it, and I think they messed up by not doing it. Like, for real, for real. Only reason why I say that is because I've been an artist at Southwest by Southwest as well for many of them. And I can honestly tell you it costs way more money, way, way, way more to go to Southwest than it would be at the Loud Fest. So to me, that $25, all artists pass all weekend was a kill. Because I guarantee you this year, I guarantee you it won't be that cheap.
No,
because
you get more
access to all the areas, every stage, everybody, every media. You have priority for all of that. They made sure all the artists, you know, felt and were artists. You know what I mean? You had your own time with each media outlet, everybody shaking hands. You know, you had artist lounge areas just to meet artists. They had things just set up for you for artists once you get off stage to connect with all these different vendors. You know what I mean? And they're encouraging you, like, go over there, meet this guy, go over there. You got this, you know. I mean, so to me, I think that $25 all artist pass was way cheaper than any festival that I've ever been at, ever.
And you get
You
more
know,
out of it. Like you say, you get that one-on-one time with all the media. South by Southwest, you everywhere. You're not
and
really
then
getting that
and media,
one-on-one time
you're
media.
not getting media like that. You're not getting, like, they had it set up like it was a media row. So the whole row was a media row. So you could just go bounce, and just that whole time each side, you know. So Southwest, you're in different places and stuff is way over here, and you might have two shows, and then your next performance is like on a whole nother street. You might be on 3rd Street, and your next performance is like way past the freeway. And you got to over there to try to get to your next performance. So you ain't even got time to get media at Southwest, and you done paid $1,000 to get there. So it was a steal, and I would recommend any artist that doubted it to go and actually try it, participate, and utilize some of that network, because it's a very good network. A lot of those people I still connect with on my Instagram today. You know what I'm saying? And that was, we did this in December. We're about to be in February, and I'm still connected with a lot of these people out of Houston. So I think it's a very, very good network. I'm still doing interviews for media from the Loud Fest. You know what I mean?
I met a lot of dope artists, even though I didn't get a chance to go, but just me being in that little media room, I got to meet a lot of dope artists, not just from San Antonio, but from Houston.
Everywhere.
And I met some from San Antonio that I didn't know was on the lineup too. So I was
everybody.
Like, oh, you from San Antonio? You from San Antonio? Okay.
Yeah, it was like that, because we probably knew, like, just the circle. It was, it was at least like 8 of us, that we all knew each other. But then it was like another like 6, another 8 that we didn't know. You feel me? So when we got there, we were like, "Damn, oh, you from San Antonio? Oh, you from okay? What's up?" Like, you know what I mean? You see they little studio jerseys on. I'm like, okay. I was like, okay. Girl up there pretty dope too from San Antonio. I don't even know her name, but she was rocking though. I got her somewhere. I'll be tapping in with her though. I've never seen her, but she was rocking though. You feel me? I was like, hey, I don't know, but yeah, you feel me? San Antonio in the building. So yeah, it was pretty dope.
Are there some San Antonio artists on your radar that you looking to do features with in the future or coming soon that you just like, I gotta do it?
Yeah, I got a lot of people that I'm working on right now, actually. Nice. You know what I mean? Like right now, I'm trying to get this feature from, I'm working on a song, trying to get this feature with Basic. Do you know who Basic is?
No.
Basic? No? Yeah, he's an artist that put it down, got it, the city, he's a good local, everybody know him, you know what I'm saying? He connect with, he raps with, Psy, Samurai Psy.
Oh, I know Psy.
And talk all of the same little, like they're all the whole little, you feel me? Shout out to the whole squad, you feel me, y'all? Yes. Hey, yeah, I'm working on with him. I'm trying to get him on something. I've been trying to get him on something since I moved out here. You feel me? He's one of the first artists trying to connect it with when I first moved to Texas. Like talking to, you feel me? So like you always, gotta show my respect and my, my support to my people. So it's a couple people that I still got on my list that I'm still trying to do some music with from the city. So I still got a lot of work to do, but I'm getting to them. I want to do a track with Little Yoda. I got some people on the list that, you know what I'm saying, in the city that I'm still trying to connect with. I still got some work to do, but I'm working though.
Do you still go back to Compton, visit up there? Any artists up there that you want to put us on that we should be looking out for in Compton?
Well, I mean, I got like, I don't really super tapping. I mean, I go and I visit some of my people still on the block, of course. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But mainly, you know, my family's in different cities in Cali. You know what I mean? Probably 5 minutes from Compton. You know, Carson. I be in Carson, Compton, Long
Or
Beach.
any
You feel
Cali
me?
artists that we should be looking up?
When I go to Cali, I make my rounds. You know what I mean? Long Beach, LA. You feel me? So I gotta tap in with all my peoples. You feel me?
Or
But
any Cali artists in general we should be looking
all
up?
kind of artists. My family, you feel me? My team, you know what I'm saying? So I still got my partner out there, Stacks and Mill, you feel me? So Stacks is always dropping something, doing his little projects, you feel me, from Compton. And you know, that's one of my brothers. And we part of the same little floater movement, you feel me? So he's always dropping something. So I always say tap into Stacks and Mill. So you probably always see him on my Instagram, Stacks and Mill CPT. You feel me? Tap in, follow my brother, you know, IG, Stacks Emil CPT. You know, other than that, you know, just some of my brothers from Cali, period, different areas, you know what I mean? They're always doing music out there, so you can always tap in, you feel me? City Boy Go, Stacks Emil, you got, you feel me? So it's a couple out there that I fucks with that, you know, I always keep the shine on in Cali, really, always.
I like that. I like that. Keep a shine on where you from,
Hey, you know,
where you live.
I mean, I always feel like I'll have some from both on my projects. So I always have some artists from Cali on my project, and I always have some artists from the city on my project. You know what I mean? So I always have somebody, you feel me, from Cali or somebody from San Antonio on the project.
Yeah.
Always. Yeah. So all my projects, I got some from somebody from somewhere. You feel me?
I like that. Well, thank you, Miss Bossalena, for being on U3. It's a pleasure to have you. You're a dope artist. Keep doing what you do. Keep being that boss. Don't ever stop being the boss.
Already. For sure. Thank you for having me. You know, before I get out of here, I want everybody to go tap into my new single called Can't Stop My Wave. It just went up on Spotify last night. So make sure y'all tap in. The video will drop next weekend called Can't Stop My Wave. So make sure y'all subscribe to me on YouTube, my channel. The video will go up, and then following that, I'm gonna be dropping some more singles and some more videos. So y'all stay tapped on to the new project, which would be Female Dawn Volume 10. So that's the new.
Give us all your social media before we let you go so people can follow you.
Follow me on IG at Bossalena, Bossalena. Follow me on Twitter at Bossalena. You can follow me on SoundCloud at Bossalena. You can follow me on Facebook as Keon Greedy, KeonGreedy, Keon Greedy. Everything else is Bossalena. YouTube, follow me at Official Bossalena. So YouTube, I need you to subscribe. I need like 300 more subscribers to get to my 1,000 so we can start getting paid. Feel me? Let's get it. Bossalena.
We're going to help you.
Yo, you already know.
You heard it straight from my mouth. Make sure you go ahead and follow her on all her social media platforms. Make sure you go to her YouTube page, Official Bossalena. Subscribe. Check out the new song that's out. And then the video is coming soon. You don't want to miss it. And this you go, DJ Baby Blue Diamond, and we are signing out.
You can't stop my wave. You can't stop my wave. You can't stop my wave now. You can't stop my wave now. You can't stop me, why try? Yes, I'm smoking while on them haters flow by. Boss, I do this for life. You can't stop my wave. You can't stop my wave. You can't stop my wave now. You can't stop my wave now. You can't stop me, why try? Yes, I'm smoking while on them haters flow by. Boss, I do this for life. Drippin' so on
can't hate on the boss. My grind so sauce can't ride my wave. I know a lot of haters from around the way. I know a lot of haters gon' hate every day. I get to the money, I spend it on the game. I'm working 9 to 5, I put it in the bank. I got my own merch, got my own stew, got my own gang, I got my own thing. Stay focused on the prize, don't stand around me. Don't fuck up my vibe, don't lean on me. Got out my camera, I charge you a fee. Can't ride my wave, can't float like me. This is Mamba for life. Bitch, I'm Cali till I die. Yes, that legend has arrived. I see you as a small fry. You can't stop my wave. You can't stop my wave. You can't stop my wave now, now, now. You can't stop my wave now, now. You can't stop me, why try? Yes, I'm smoking wine lie. On them haters flow by. Boss, I do this for life. You can't stop my wave. You can't stop my wave. You can't stop my wave now, now, now. You can't stop my wave now, now. You can't stop me, why try? Yes, I'm smoking wine lie. On them haters flow by. Boss, I do this for life. You can't tidal wave. You can't ride my wave now, now, now. You can't rock on the stage like me. I swear them haters watch it stay. I know some haters envy me. I'm from a different atmosphere, a different brand, a different cloth. Bitch, I grind, I will see you there. I don't feel or even care. It's FOD. Loyalty over haters, we float over obstacles, float over fakers. Focus on the game plan, focus on the maker. Hey, you can't stop me, oh no. Icy drip is so cold. Watch the wave, they know the name. Boss a legend in the game. You can't stop my wave. You can't stop my wave. You can't stop my wave now, now, now. You can't stop my wave now, now. You can't stop me, why try? Yes, I'm smoking wine lie. On them haters float by. Boss, I do this for life. You can't stop my wave. You can't stop my wave. You can't stop my wave now, now, now. You can't stop my wave now, now. You can't stop me, why try? Yes, I'm smoking wine lie. On them haters float by. Boss, I do this for life.